Hi guys, Jim here. Different video from me today. Unscripted, so I might waffle a little bit all over the place. Who knows? But I'm going to be talking about a company called White Angel Miniatures, who do substitute forces for Warhammer Oldworld, or at least inspired by. I was never really into Oldworld back in the day when I was collecting Warhammer as a kid. I started off on Lord of the Rings and got into Warhammer 40k, Space Marines, Tyranids, all that sort of stuff. Grew up, got out of it, got back into it during COVID. And at that point, Age of Sigmar was the prevalent fantasy force, and Oldworld had disappeared. But I was getting really into Warhammer Total War. Really enjoying Warhammer Total War. You know, many hundreds of hours, I'm sure, like anyone who's watching, whether it be a lot of you or a little of you. Really into those games. I like pretty much every faction, really. There's something in all of them. Big dwarf fan. Haven't fell in love with dwarf models though, apart from Godric and Felix. Done all the books of those. So Godric is a big dwarf character that I'm a big fan of. Grombrindle, these sort of guys. But the actual tabletop dwarf models, not a huge fan of them yet. Maybe they'll bring some back that interest me. But the ones that have interested me are High Elves. Always really liked the dragon models. Like when I was a kid going through White Dwarf, I'd always be really stuck to dragons, and I think Midwinter Minis did a video probably a couple of years ago now where Hattie painted up Imric on his dragon, and I remember seeing that model and thinking, like, yeah, that old era of old world dragons really just gripped me. So that sort of dragged me into high elf territory, because those were always the guys of the dragons. Wood elves as well. Elves in general sort of had dragons. And then I've seen these. So I don't have a 3D printer, so I've ordered these off of Etsy, UK-based company, UK Resin Prints. He's got a license to sell these, and really like them. Obviously, GW will bring out all of the models they want to bring out for Old World and redesigns. Like they brought this little fella out who I loved instantly, and obviously picked him up. So he's Forge World resin. Really like this model. I hope to get painting him soon. And so I ordered these as well. Just I kind of wanted to see what the scale was like as well. This is printed in 32 size rather than is it 28mm scale for Old World, or 25. But I got them printed in 32 anyway, because I just thought if I ever use these on the tabletop, if I decided to ever play a game, the heroes are always a little bit bigger than the main troops anyway. So I thought 32, it really isn't going to make a difference, especially if he's on the right size. So that's a 25mm base. I ordered a big stack of them, all magnetised. Yeah, really nice details. I'll move them out of the way. Really nice details on these minis. So we've got him. Essentially, for me, that's Techless. Maybe that's a lore master. Any old lore master. Maybe they all look the same. And we got this fella. He was cool. The dual axes. Again, I don't know a lot of the lore behind High Elves in the Old World, other than what I've grabbed from Total Warhammer. So when I picked this up, I thought it was Alistair the White Lion, who I think isn't actually a named character back in the Old World. It's just there's a new model who I can't remember the name of, but I'll throw him up on the screen if I learn how to edit properly. He'll be there. And he also came with this as another axe option, so you actually came with two of these little axes, so you could have either the single blade or the double bladed axes on both sides. And I went for these ones. I thought, elves aren't known to be ridiculously strong. These would be two big heavy axes. So I went for the two little ones. I just thought it looks sleeker, looks more subtle, but still very cool looking model. And the details are really, really nice. Really like it. Obviously, you do get these sort of little bits, but they can just be filed down. Just a bit lazy with it. Once you put little bits of texture on the cape and stuff, you won't notice all that stuff. But other than that, really, really nice little details. So we've got these two. We've also got, I think it's just a generic High Elf Lord. I don't think it's Tyrion because he hasn't got like the dragon helm bit coming forward. So just a sort of generic Lord, but really cool. He's got a flaming longsword. Could be Sunfire, but I don't think so because he hasn't got the helmet. But still a really, really cool little model. Lots of nice little details on them. And then this one, Ulthuan. Definitely Ulthuan. There was no doubt about that. I chose to put him on this base, but actually I think I would have actually rather left him off. Just because it flops over the side. I don't like it when they flop over the side like that. I think especially for the rank and file miniatures, I know he's a hero, but rank and file miniatures, I think they should sort of sit flush together. Obviously these guys are heroes, they won't be in rank and file, they'll be sat in front of them. Bring that back. Yeah. He's also very, very cool. Excited to paint all four of those. And then last one, I do have two actually, but the last one I'll show on screen because the other one isn't primed and I've got a green stuff, a couple of bits of it. There's a few little issues with that one. It's this fella. Alarion the Grim, is it not? Very cool. I think the detail, I think it's a hippogriff. I don't think it's a griffin, I think it's a hippogriff. Anyway, maybe it's a very small griffin. But details on him, really, really nice. I like him anyway. I think he fits in well, and the rock over this base isn't too much. And again, this is 32mm scale that it's been printed at. And for another little comparison on size, which is where I think maybe this fella could be a little bit bigger. The character I think is perfect. Is that I've got the Bretonnian, was he like a lord on Pegasus? Scale wise, I think a griffin or a hippogriff should be bigger than a Pegasus. But the elf, I think the proportions are absolutely fine. I think it's just a bird needs to be a little bit bigger maybe, but very nice looking model. And probably next to the sort of old world counterparts, it's fine. This is obviously a new plastic model. Scales are always a little bit different. Again, another one. I am more of a painter than a player, although you've probably seen me do the odd speed painting video and stuff. There are models I like to really spend some time on and put more effort into. Typically your heroes and your lords and stuff. I don't like painting armies, which is why I never actually end up playing a game. But yeah, I just wanted to show these models off. Just a really quick video showing off these little guys. A little bit of missing there, but it doesn't really matter too much. You know what, I will bring out the other one because he is cool. He's big, so I'm going to readjust the camera. He's a big fella. Sorry, I use just an iPad on a gooseneck, so a little bit of readjusting later. I will be doing some painting soon. This guy. So yeah, I've got some gaps to fill. You know, he is stuck on. Can't remember what size base that is, but it's the base size they're using for dragons. I did at least check before I went and got those. It's Malekith, the Witch King. His handle broke off, which is a bit sad, but I'm just gonna put in a little bit of metal wire and then green stuff a hilt. You know, it's not very hard to do, but really nice model. I think some people think sometimes they look a little bit chunky, but you know, once they've actually got paint on them, they don't look chunky. It's just, I think it's just the plastic and the way it prints, but sorry, the resin, the way it prints. But yeah, it's a cool one. And not, when you consider the sort of prices GW would charge for dragons and stuff, this is what, 25-30 quid for something like this from a 3D printer, from an Etsy sales guy. So very happy with that. Need some green stuff, a little bit of work on it, but then I can prime it and hopefully paint it, and it doesn't just sit in the grey pile. That's it. I just wanted to show this off. I thought it's, it don't seem to see a lot of people sort of talking about these models, and with High Elves on the way, some good substitutes for heroes there. Maybe you don't like buying 3D printed models, especially to use, if you intend on doing tournaments and stuff like that, and maybe there's a little bit of snarkiness about, I don't like 3D printed, I want to buy official. Who gives a shit? Do they look good? Some of them look shit. Some of them look really good. And if you paint these guys up, I think put them on there, put them leading your High Elf armies, I think you'll be looking good. They also do really good Chaos Dwarves. The same creator, really good Chaos Dwarves, and obviously we haven't seen anything like that. I don't know what plans there are for those to join the old world, maybe in a couple of years or so. But there's some really, really good models there, and High Elves are a big favourite of mine. That's me signing off. 12-minute video. It's not too bad. I'll see you around. Lots of things planned. Speak soon.